Most of you out there, I believe, have somebody either you know or in your family, maybe a close friend, who is struggling with mental health issues and or addiction issues. And that certainly, uh, and that phenomenon certainly doesn't spare NFL players. In this video, we are going to talk about one NFL player who recently came out and said, I did suffer from mental health issues as early as my rookie year, and those led into addiction issues. Along with the player's pain and the prescriptions the doctors were writing, it all came together. For many years, the NFL didn't even acknowledge that there were mental health or addiction issues in players who played professional football. There was this legend of the mighty football player who wore a leather helmet and tore people's heads off on Sunday, and then everybody would go to the bar afterwards and drink beer and be happy and get lots of beautiful women, and there's never any kind of depression or anxiety in these players because they were just legendary superheroes. And you know, that legend, the superhero legend, transitions into basketball, baseball, you name it. You name the sport, and you will remember these legendary people like Michael Jordan, who was sick with the flu but yet went out and scored 40 points and beat the other team despite being sick. And he's a superhero, right? On the other hand, Scottie Pippen, who had a migraine one day and couldn't play in a playoff game, he is less than Michael Jordan because of his neurological health. And a migraine is actually documented neurological condition. What if someone suffers from a mental health condition and can't play? No, that is completely wrong. That person can't be a superhero, can't be a legend. Look at Simone Biles in the last Olympics. She suffered from a condition that didn't allow her to spin and jump and do flips. And the athletic community was almost all of the athletic community came out and said, just walk it off, go, win a gold medal. We know you can. Just do it. Just do it, right? Just do it. That kind of slogan does not fit with lapses in mental health or the illnesses that affect so many people. They affect athletes too. And one NFL player has now come out and said, this is okay. People do suffer from this, suffer from depression and anxiety, and it's okay. And he tells the story of his rookie year getting hurt right at the beginning of his rookie year, right after he signed a mega contract for millions of dollars with the Patriots, and all the fans' expectations and his teammates' expectations. And these players are human beings. They're not superheroes. He felt like he let everyone down. And that led into depression and anxiety, and further led into drug abuse and addiction. And when we come back, we're going to look at exactly what he said and exactly how he felt. If any of you out there are Patriots fans, you'll probably remember Dominique Easley as a rather disappointing draft pick You probably were disappointed for what he did or didn't do on the field. And as most of you know out there, I'm a huge Ravens fan, and I feel the same way about draft picks if they don't pan out. I feel like they disappointed us as fans, they disappointed their teammates, and that's exactly the kind of pressure Dominique felt, except not only from fans, not only from his teammates, but also from his family, many of which were depending on his support financially. So not only was he a disappointment to the fans, but he was a disappointment to himself. And that sent him into a deep depression. In his rookie year, he got injured. And I don't know how many draft articles you read, but I've read a few in my day, and it's almost always the case that someone who gets injured is a disappointment, and it's almost like it's his fault, right? And we think that way. We don't think about the person behind the story. And now Dominique has written an article detailing his struggles with depression and subsequent addiction due to opioid painkillers. So his take on the situation is athletes need better tools to deal with these things. What tools and from where? Well, I have the perspective that the NFL needs to step in, or the team, the Patriots need to step in, or the Ravens. In my case, I'm a Ravens fan. Maybe they need to step in and give the athlete what they need, the tools they need. There's another perspective that there's personal responsibility here. The athlete himself needs to reach out for help. And Dominique comes about in the middle of those two. He says in his story that he finally reached out for help, mental health counseling and addictions counseling, and that he had the personal responsibility to do that. But it's not quite enough when team doctors and trainers are pushing opiate use and nothing else for pain and injuries. And he's saying, what about marijuana? What about medical marijuana? He and Jordan Reed have teamed up to try to push the medical marijuana prescription in the NFL. And I think it's all part of the picture. It's all part of the big picture, right? Because not only do the players need to reach out for help, but also the NFL needs to meet them halfway. So if you read the article in Insider, you'll see that the situation is a little more complex than we might think as fans. And next time, when you think that a draft pick is a disappointment, just remember Dominique's story. It might not be that simple. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in to us. I love making these videos, and I love it that you guys watch the videos. And I want to interact with you, so leave a comment, like, hit the notification button. That's the bell somewhere on your screen. Hit the subscribe button, and we will see you next time.